Hi guys, in this video we'll discuss about the multi-phase nanofluid simulation in a storage tank using ANSYS Fluent mixture model. So we'll be using ANSYS academic version here. I'll just show you the geometry on which we are perform our simulation. So this is the geometry. So this is the air which is been get patched onto the geometry, and here in the bottom portion there will be the water plus nanoparticles with a volume fraction of water as zero point 0.9 and nanoparticles as zero point 0.1. The temperature of the water plus nanoparticles mixture is 363 Kelvin, and from here the nozzle, the water would be entering at a temperature of 300 Kelvin with a velocity of 1 meter per second into the tank. So the here the entire temperature would be passed with 363 Kelvin, but the water which is entering would be at 300 Kelvin. So now what are the thermal temperature gradients, and what are the forces that will be developed to the temperature, and how the nanoparticle mixture phase would be developed in the entire storage tank, how it could be distributed, and how the water would be sent out of the storage tank, because the condition on this side of the storage tank is the pressure outlet. So it will be going to the atmospheric pressure, because the pressure outlet I have given the pressure as a zero gauge, zero bar as the gauge pressure. So it means that it is atmospheric pressure. So the water which is entering into the storage tank at 300 Kelvin would push out some water plus nanoparticles which are already present in the storage tank at 363 Kelvin to outside the environment. So how exactly it happens, how the distribution would be present, and all those things we can discuss here. We may can extrapolate these information to other kind of simulations where we have this nano mixtures or multi-phase nanofluids, so using the mixture model. So this can be a base example for any such kind of simulations. So I'll just show you the mesh what I have generated. It is just a simple mesh I have generated, not so complicated. I'll just show you the mesh settings also. But prior to that, I'll just show you the boundary condition what I have taken in the simulation. So this side is a pressure outlet, and here this side or this part is the velocity inlet for the water. Uh, the temperature of 300 Kelvin, and remaining all the edges are walls. And in order to patch the water plus nanoparticles at the bottom portion, we need to know the coordinates prior to the simulation setup. So I have just noted down the coordinates at each and every point. So maybe I'll just highlight those points. So here is the first point. You can see, just change the color so it would be clear to you guys. So this is the first point, so which is 0 comma 108, and all the dimensions are in mm. And this is the second point, 0 comma 0, and this is the third point, which is 60 comma minus 40, and this is the fourth point, 60 comma 108. So all these 4 point constitutes a quadrilateral. So these 4 points we need to write it on a paper or write it on somewhere else, so that it will be implemented in the simulation setup. And next 4 points are this set, 60 comma 108, 60 comma minus 40, 140 comma minus 40. Actually this is the point. Maybe I'll just pull it. Yeah, so these are the point 140 comma minus 40, and this is 140 comma 108. So these are the next 4 point set, and these are the next 4 point set. So there are three quadrilaterals which we need to note down the points. Now I'll just show you the mesh settings. So this is the mesh what I have created. Given as just a phase sizing of for these two faces combinedly is 1.6 into 10 power minus 3 meters, and I've activated phase meshing so there will be a uniform meshing to for the entire body. And I have given a edge sizing for this with 40 divisions, another edge sizing for the bottom part with 30 divisions. Just a random settings for what I have given. I have not followed any particular thing, so this is just a representation or just an example for remaining kind of simulations. So this is the inlet stream which I have given as a named section. You can just click on the edge. Maybe you just go to this edge selection, go here, click on this, right click, create named section. In the create named section, you need to mention the name as inlet fluid stream. So this is the fluid. Have selected two bodies. So I've selected using this option. Control, click on this, control, click on this, and right click named sections, give the name as fluid. Similarly, I have used the edge selection and I have given all the edges as my walls, and this is my pressure outlet which is open to atmosphere. So these are the conditions what I have taken in the meshing, and I'll just show you setup. So this is the transient setup what I have considered with gravity activated, and the y direction it is minus 9.81, and in the models I've activated a multi-phase with a mixture model with a number of Eulerian phases as three. One phase is air, other phase is water, and the third phase is nanoparticles. So here we have considered the aluminum oxide nanoparticles with a thermal conductivity of 40 watt per meter Kelvin, and have activated the slip velocity. Slip velocity means there would be a relative velocity between the two phases. So that is called slip velocity. We need to activate, and the formulation is implicit, and the body force formulation is implicit body force. So implicit body force means there would be more instability here in the mixture model or V of model. Uh, in order to have a balance between pressure gradient with respect to body forces, so for that to happen we need to activate this implicit body force, so it will create that equilibrium for each and every time step. So mine is a dispersed phase. So it's a dispersed phase modeling means each phase can interpenetrate into the other phase. So for that to happen, this is the option we need to click, dispersed phase. Click on OK, and after that you need to go into materials, click on materials, click on fluids, just go to create edit, fluent database, the bottom select water liquid, control. The next one is aluminum. You can see aluminum also here. Yeah, 1 second. Aluminum solid, click on that also, click on copy, close, right, close. So after that you just click on that aluminum and change the name as aluminum oxide with Al2O3, and give the thermal conductivity value as 40, and click on change, create, and it will ask for you to overwrite aluminum or not. Yeah, click on overwrite and just close it. So now these are the three phases: air, water liquid, and aluminum oxide. Now enter into the phases dialog box. So click on primary phase, edit, air as phase 1, secondary phase, water liquid as phase 2, okay, third phase or ternary phase, it is aluminum oxide with granular. So why have I activated granular? It is for the nanofluid simulation. So this I've already explained in detail in my previous video of two-phase nanofluid simulation. You can go through it. What is the meaning of granular viscosity, what is the meaning of granular temperature, solids pressure, radial distribution, all these have already mentioned in the previous video. You can go through that in detail. If you want, you can go to the fluid manual also, it is available. What is the significance of each and every term? So the most important thing is the granular temperature, which indicates the kinetic energy of the solid particles which are present in the fluid. So that it is an indication, and that's the reason why the units are meter square per second square. We know the kinetic energy is half mv square. So if, kinetic energy per unit mass is it is v square. So v square means meter per second whole square, so it is meter square per second square. So it indicates the kinetic energy of the particles. And if any viscosity that is generated due to the kinetic energy of the particles between the particles, so that we can take it as the granular viscosity on any resistance. So that is a granular viscosity. And remaining things, yeah, you can go through the previous video what I have mentioned, right? And next you can go to the phase interactions. So drag, phase 2, phase 1, why I have selected a scalar Neumann model. All these things I've already explained previously. And the collisions between the quotient of restitution between two particles, if they collide, is it a perfectly elastic or perfectly inelastic collisions? So we need to mention mine is an inelastic collision, so I have given a quotient of restitution as zero point 0.9. If it is your elastic collision, you can give as zero point 0.1. So phase 3 and phase 3, because this is between two solid particles, so that's the reason why the coefficient of restitution would be between phase 3 and phase 3. The slip models, why I have selected this, and there is no mass transfer because nothing is evaporating or nothing is changing its phase from solid to liquid or liquid to solid, so I'm not activated. In the surface tension model, I've given phase 2 to phase 1. Phase 2 to phase 1 is between air and water liquid. I have given the surface tension coefficient as 0.072. Between phase 3 and phase 1 means solid particles and air, I have given no surface tension. Again, between solid particles and water also have not given any surface tension, because the surface area itself is very low for that nanoparticles, so not activated. Interfacial area have left default as asymmetric. Reason is also mentioned in the previous video. You can go through that video, or ANSYS fluid manual also you can go through, right? So, okay, activate energy. Okay, go to realizable k epsilon model. And I have already given a video for wall functions, what wall function and when to activate. So I have just considered a scalable wall function, because here my importance is not about the wall shear or any viscosity or wall dependent viscosity. I'm not considering here. So if any that kind of situation is present or arise, then you need to go for exact wall conditions like k omega, having sst model activated with y plus less than 1. So it will give much more accurate results when there is a boundary layer separation or any such kind of situations. So this is a mean estimation. It will not give any exact result but approximate results. If you don't want this to be activated, you can give your own turbulent viscosity model here, but have not considered. I have considered default realizable and scalable wall functions. So click on OK. Next, go to boundary zone conditions. Go to inlet for phase 1. So phase 1 is air. So here air doesn't have any velocity at the inlet. So the blue color edge is the inlet. So the velocity is 0. Click on OK. Phase 2 is water. So water has some velocity which is entering from this blue color edge. So the velocity is 1 meter per second, and the volume fraction with which it is entering is 1. So the entire water is only coming from this edge. There is nothing else present there. And the phase 3, so there is nothing else present there, already mentioned. So in phase 3, the velocity of the nanoparticles is 0, and the volume fraction is also 0. So there is nothing present that is coming from the blue color edge. Next, pressure outlet. So pressure outlet is 0 bar for all the three phases. So 0 bar with intense and viscous ratio of left default as 5 and 10. Actually, we have a formula to calculate those things also. Yeah, you can go through those in particular if you require. And in the wall conditions, there's a basic wall, basic adiabatic wall. There is no heat flux across any of these edges. So after that, just go to methods. So I have activated coupled method, and then go to initialization. Here the initialization is very very important. So click on initialize, click on OK. Now we need to properly patch the things. Patch. So for temperature, I will okay. So before that we need to do create some regions, which is very important. New region. So here we need to mention those points what we have considered in our presentation. So all these points. So for the first quadrilateral, 0 comma 108. So 1 second. So it is 0 comma 108, 0 comma 0, 60 comma minus 40, and 60 comma 108. So in this window, it is clear for us that we need to mention x minimum and x maximum. So in the quadrilateral, if you say x minimum is 0 and x maximum is 60, so you need to mention for region 1, x minimum is 0, x maximum is 60. Similarly, for y minimum and y maximum for the quadrilateral, y minimum is minus 40 and y maximum is 108. Y minimum is minus 40 and y maximum is 108. Where do you got this from? You can just go to the meshing, and if you click on this mesh, select this node. If you click on these edges or the nodal points, maybe I need to just zoom in it. I'll just zoom in it 1 second. Yeah, now you can select this. If you select these points exactly, just zoom in more and you can select. I'll just zoom in. So if you can see, so these are the points what you are getting. Yeah, so when you click on this point, you will get the dimensions here, or the units or the values. Sorry, the value will get here. So for each and every location, in that way you can get those dimensions. So after this, click on save and display. So automatically this would be displayed, right? So that is the region 1. So next region is x minimum is minus 40, x maximum is, sorry, x minimum is 60, x maximum is 140. So now rename it as 1 to 60 140. Y is minus 40 108. So y is same as such. So save and display. So yeah, region 2 name is already existed, so you just change the name. Remember, we have created region 1. Now I'll rename it as region 4. Save and display. So now this is a center portion which is getting activated. Now region 5, again go to the presentation. So it is x is 140 comma 200, y is minus 40 comma 108. 140 comma 200, right? Save and display. So this part, so we have created 3 such regions. Now I'll just close it. Yeah, I'll just go to manage. So I'll delete remaining everything. So previously I've created these things, so I'll delete this. I'll delete region 2. I'll delete region 0, right? So region 145 is nothing but, so this is 1. So select region 1, display. Region 4, display. Region 5, display. So these are the 3 regions what we need to uh, create. So now click on OK. Now go to patch. So I'll try to patch the entire fluid with 363 Kelvin. Patch it, right? Next, go to phase 2. In phase 2, deselect this. In phase 2, so here the region entirely is filled with water plus nanoparticles which are zero 0.9 plus 1. So volume fraction of the water for each and every region here is zero point 0.9. So patch it for region 1 with zero point 0.9, region 4 with zero point 0.9, region 5 with zero point 0.9, right? Similarly, go to phase 3. Here the volume fraction is 0.1 because it's a nanoparticle. 0.1 patch. Similarly, region 4 patch, region 5 patch. So the water is 0.9 volume fraction, nanoparticles are 0.1 volume fraction. Now go to granular temperature. So granular temperature is nothing but the kinetic energy of the nanoparticles present inside the water. So I'll select all the regions and I'll patch it with this value 0.001. This you can get from the experimental results. Patch it, click on close. Now you can cross verify what are the things you passed, whether you got the correct things or not. Go to counter one. Maybe you'll select for a volume fraction, so it would be much more clear. Yeah, so this is a phase 2 volume fraction. Phase 2 matlab it's like water, right? So compute, display. I'll just zoom in it. Yeah, so here we got water which is passed with maximum as 1. So there are some regions where the volume fraction is 1. So here the water is 1 and all the remaining portion here 9 0.9 to 1. So this is passed with 0.9 to, or sorry, 0 to 0.9, and here the entire region is 0.9. It is passed with water, and here topmost is only with 1. Now we can check with nanoparticles also. Yeah, so it is only with zero point 0.1. So entire nanoparticles is with 0.9. So it is okay. Now go to run calculations. Have considered my time step size with respect to the element what I have considered. My element minimum my element size is 1.6 mm. So based on that, with a velocity of 1 meter per second, I have calculated the time step and I have given this time step with 20 iterations and number of time steps as 50,000. Now I'll just run calculate. Will just come after some time. So these are the phase 2 volume fraction, the water volume fraction, how it is been after a few number of time steps. So you can see the water is coming from here. It was propelling or expelling the water from here to the outlet, right? So we can see the different other counters like velocity also. Yeah, so here we go for volume fraction maybe of nanoparticles. So these are the distribution of the nanoparticles here. So here the nanoparticles distribution is very very low, but compared to the water distribution. So here there is a combination of water plus air, right? But nanoparticles distribution is not present in that case. You can see. So yeah, if you can see here, there is no nanoparticles. So the nanoparticles distribution is much more in this region, and some of the nanoparticles have been going out also. And you can just calculate the heat transfer coefficient, how it is getting varied, and all those things. It's not a big deal. And we can just check out the velocities also. Velocity for phase 3 it is going around 20 here. With respect to that, maybe you can go for the entire mixture model. So here more velocity is been happening. So this can be a proper reason because here the reversal flow would be occurring here, and there is a huge this can be we'll get clarification using pressure counter. See if you can see here, there is a huge negative pressure. right? So, and there is a here huge positive pressure. So this can be a driving force to get that huge amount of velocity. And here the negative pressure reason is because the flow is coming out from this narrow channel, so it will create an eddies forming here. So due to that eddies we can have a huge pressure drop, and so there is a negative pressure. So that's the reason why we are getting huge velocities that are present here in this case, right? So now we'll check in detail about the post processing. I'll just show you the velocity counters initially, how it exactly is getting varied. So now if you take the time step animation, you can just, so this velocity difference is as the air is just pushed out of this, and there is formation which is making the reversal flow happening. That's the reason why the velocity is prompting. And here there is a water interaction, so the velocity, now the water is getting splitted respect to mixture model. We'll stop this for at present. So now we'll check for phase fraction how it is getting varied. First we'll just shift to 0, apply. Now I'll go for phase 2 or volume fraction of water, how it is getting varied with respect to time. So now you can see water is coming from here. This variation here is because there is a nanoparticles which are just moving here and there because due to the kinetic energy. That's the reason why you are getting a different volume fractions there. As I've stated, now the nanoparticles plus water which is present here is getting interacted with the pure water, and now the phase fraction is getting different. So neither these are the areas you can see the volume fraction is between zero point 0.8, and the red color area is 0.9 to 1. So if it is deep red, then there is no nanoparticles present here. So it is only water. So here is the orange portion. In the orange portion, we can say that there is a presence of nanoparticles also, as well as air can also be present. So for having a deep, I hope this video has helped you a lot. Please do subscribe the channel and encourage me in doing more number of videos.